Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are continuing on with Unit 11, Lesson 13, page 191 in your student journal. So if you remember from last week, I introduced you to the units grams and kilograms, and you all know that you use grams and kilograms when you are estimating or measuring the mass of an object, or how heavy, how much matter there is in that object, how heavy something is. Last week we talked about grams. We know that something that is 1 gram is something that is about the weight of 1 paperclip. So when you think of a 1 paperclip, that is pretty equivalent to 1 gram if you were weighing it, if you were finding the mass of it. Okay? Then we looked at 1 kilogram. And we know that 1 kilogram is equivalent to the weight of a bunch of bananas. Okay? So when you think about that, 1 kilogram is equal to how many paper clips? How many? What do you think? You would need 1,000 paper clips, okay, to be equivalent to the mass of 1 bunch of bananas. So we know that 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. So you're going to use that knowledge to figure out your problem of the day. Okay, so if you look up here, I have a pencil for you, I have a basketball, and I have a chair. So I want you to think about their mass. I bet you can tell me which one's the lightest and which one's the heaviest of these, which one falls in the middle. But I want you to match. So which object would weigh about 3 kilograms, which object would weigh about 20 kilograms, and which object would weigh about 10 grams. So I want you to go ahead and pause. And then I'm going to go over the answer with you right now so you can resume the video when you're finished. All right? So we know that a pencil is the lightest. Okay, when I think about things that are light, I think more of grams. So if I look at my options here, 3 kilograms. Well, if 1 kilogram is a bunch of bananas, then 3 kilograms is more. 20 kilograms is even more than that. 10 grams, about 10 paper clips in my hand, that seems pretty accurate. We know that a pencil is very light. Now we have a basketball. Okay, a basketball, definitely heavier than a pencil. I see that these are both in the units kilograms, so 3 is smaller than 20. That will help me when looking at my objects if I'm not sure which one's lighter. Well, I know that 3 kilograms is smaller, and that would probably make sense. If I hold a basketball, that would be about 3 bunches of bananas, so that makes sense. And then 20 kilograms, it's the only thing left, but ask yourself still, does that make sense? Well, I know that 27 kilograms, it says in our book, is about the average sized 3rd grader. And a chair, if it's just like your kitchen chair, is usually lighter than that. So we would say that our chair is about 20 kilograms. About, because we are estimating. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and look at our objective, which is today I will solve word problems involving mass using the units grams and kilograms. So we are going to read some word problems and figure out the best operation that we should use to solve them. So number 1 says, if each of Carlos's toy cars weighs 100 grams, how much would 3 of his cars weigh? Okay, so each of his cars, each of them weighs 100 grams. We talked about keywords for one of our operations, and that one definitely came into play if you can remember. How much would 3 of his cars weigh? So we have 3 objects. I'm just going to quickly draw 3 little cars. And they each weigh 100 grams. And I want to know how much they weigh all together. There are 2 ways that I can do this. I can either add up 100 plus 100 plus 100 grams. But what else can I do? I can also do 100 3 times, so 100 times 3. So in both of these instances, we're going to get 1 plus 1 plus 100 equals 300 grams. And we know that 100 times 3, or 100 3 times, is also 300 grams. Okay, so your answer is 300 grams. So you can either add, because it's repeated addition, or you can multiply because we have an object and we are wondering, okay, we're looking at the weight and it's the same weight for each of them, so we can use multiplication. Number 2, Valerie had 400 grams of jelly beans. She gave half of her jelly beans to her brother. How many grams of jelly beans does she have left? Look at this. She has 400 grams of jelly beans, and she gave half to her brother, and we want to know how many she has left. She gave half to her brother. Well, what can we do here? Let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to use my part whole model for this. I know that she has 400 grams total. That's my whole. And I know that the part that she gave away, I'm not sure. That's my missing part. Okay, I also know that half of 400 is 200 grams. So 200 plus something, plus that missing part, equals 400. I'm thinking halves, right? So I can do either 200 plus something gets me to 400, or I can do 400 minus 200 equals my missing part. Either strategy will get you to your missing part, okay? So we know that 400 minus 200 is equal to 200 grams that she has left. That's my missing part. How do I check my work? Well, I know that 200 plus 200 equals my whole of 400, okay? So the key word here is half, okay? The key word's half. The other thing that you can do is divide, although we haven't worked with numbers this large yet, but you know that you are taking 400 and you are dividing that into 2 equal parts. Okay, so 400 is your total. What are those 2 equal parts? And it looks very similar to this model. We know that it's 200 each. Okay?